While Mortal Kombat 11 players are still hopeful that they'll get another DLC adding new characters to their video game, fans of the Injustice series are still hopeful, thinking that they might actually get a new Injustice 3 video game. While a new concept from BossLogic may give fans a taste and clues at what an Injustice 3 video game might look like. Before we get that, guys, hit that like button because liking these videos lets me know that you love them. Hit the subscribe notification bell so you miss any videos just like this one. Let's get to the news. On Saturday, digital artist BossLogic tweeted a concept poster for a potential Injustice 3 video game. From the poster, you can see in the background what looks like a clock, possibly broken, given the cogs and pieces floating around. You can also see a yellow smiley face in the bottom left-hand corner, which would hint at the Watchmen, then the title Injustice 3 with the letter E of the Injustice title being the number 3, and the letter I having the dot looking like an atom, which is reference to Dr. Manhattan. This poster obviously hints at Superman and the Justice League going up against the Watchmen, which has already happened in 2017's Doomsday Clock comic book series. So what is Doomsday Clock? Well, this is a very brief synopsis of the 12-issue series. You will definitely want to read Doomsday Clock because this synopsis does not do it justice. But Doomsday Clock is meant to serve as a sequel to the original Watchmen series and a way to explain how the history of the DC Universe was rewritten by Watchmen's Dr. Manhattan, starting with the 2011 crossover event Flashpoint, then the New 52, and the DC Rebirth eras. So let's back it up a bit. If it wasn't apparent already, this concept is for an Injustice 3 video game and not a new comic series. I could be wrong and that'd be fine, but given that we got the prequel Injustice Year Zero, I don't think we're going to get another comic series anytime soon. So if we go back to the ending of the Injustice 2 video game, if you chose the Batman good ending, the game will end with Batman fighting Superman and Wonder Woman in a kryptonite-infused suit. He defeats both of them, depowers Superman with a piece of gold kryptonite, and imprisons him in another universe. If you chose the Superman bad ending, Superman wins and he defeats both Batman and Supergirl. Then he uses Brainiac's technology to force Batman to change his mind. So what could Injustice 3 exactly be about? Well, given the endings from Injustice 2 and what the Doomsday Clock series is about with Dr. Manhattan using his abilities to meddle in the various timelines that shape the history of both the Watchmen and the DC universes, I think Injustice 3 could take a page from Mortal Kombat 11 with the whole Chronica situation and have Dr. Manhattan step in to try and undo the events of the bad ending of Injustice 2, where Superman is the victor and becomes a corrupt villainous being. In the Doomsday Clock series, they describe Dr. Manhattan as omnipresent, so I don't know exactly what will trigger him to be alert of what is happening. Maybe something that happens in the DC universe of the Injustice timeline affects the Watchmen universe and that gives him cause for his involvement. What's cool about that theory is that this would again have two major powerhouse characters go to battle against each other. In Doomsday Clock, Superman and Dr. Manhattan are set to go toe-to-toe with each other over Dr. Manhattan's meddling. Ultimately, Superman shows that he is a better man, and rather than hurt Manhattan, he saves him from danger, thus changing his outlook on Superman and the entire DC and Watchmen universes, and he rewrites the histories of both so that things can progress. Now in Injustice 3, things don't have to be so PG. You technically would have four groups battling each other: Batman and the heroes and villains that are fighting alongside him, Superman and Wonder Woman and all the heroes and villains that are on their side, and now Dr. Manhattan and the various Watchmen heroes, and then Ozymandias, who has his own intentions. All those characters coming together would make for an interesting plot, story, and crazy character battles. I also think that given Dr. Manhattan's abilities and whatever the outcome of an Injustice 3 video game is, we could get the potential for multi-WWE games or maybe even DC comic properties that cross over into a cross-universe comic or video game. Think about it, we've already had a DC versus Mortal Kombat game, so why couldn't we have DC superheroes versus Watchmen versus Mortal Kombat versus the Sandman versus the Invisibles versus Hitman, etc., etc. I mean, obviously there wouldn't be that massive of a crossover, but the potential is there. As I said earlier, Injustice Year Zero was just released and tells the story of the circumstances that led up to the events of Injustice Gods Among Us, the first video game and comic book. A description for Injustice Year Zero from comicbook.com reads, "The fall of the old gods focuses the actions around the Justice League and the discovery of how their predecessors covertly fought within World War II to bring down a tyrant. When the Joker finds a way to control DC superheroes, he uses his levers to sabotage the Justice League and the JSA from the inside." As I mentioned in a previous video about Injustice Year Zero, I talk about the likelihood we can get an Injustice 3 announcement, given the release of the schedule of the comics. Given the history of the release dates between the Injustice comics and the video games, it would seem that with this new comic book that a video game should be on its way. The Injustice Gods Among Us comic book series was released in January 2013, and the video game of the same name was released on April 16, 2013. A sequel comic series titled Injustice 2 was released on April 2017, with the video game of the same name being released in May 2017. So with that track record, either next month or between now and maybe November, we could possibly get an announcement of an Injustice 3 or Injustice Year Zero video game. As I discussed in a video over the weekend, last Friday was a big day for DC fandom teases and reveals. Rocksteady Games released a poster for an upcoming Suicide Squad video game. There have been rumors that Warner Brothers Games would be releasing two new Batman games, one related to the Suicide Squad, and since we got confirmation of that already, we're still waiting to see if we'll get another Batman-specific game. Batman Arkham Origins developer Warner Brothers Montreal has been hinting that they are working on a reboot of the Batman Arkham series that would pit the Caped Crusader against such villains as Ra's al Ghul and the Court of Owls. They also have recently been hiring hiring new people for their team all the way back to the last week of July. They've hired a new senior programmer, IT support analyst, and senior texture artist. So obviously with those new hires, they have to be working on something. DC Fandom is 11 days away as of this recording, so who knows if we can get 1 or 2 video games announced. At the least, they could give us a tease of a poster and potential release date. I imagine if we got Injustice 3, it wouldn't be until 2021 or 2022, since we just got a Suicide Squad game announcement. I have a separate video on this topic, but recently there was news that AT&T was going to hold off on the sale of WB Games. Warner Bros. Did do some restructuring and let people go in various areas, and ultimately WB Games is to remain with Warner Bros. I personally think that's the right move, and I think AT&T and Warner Bros. Need to do a better job of selling their video games. MK11 has been very successful, and I think the fan interest is there for other properties as well, so it seems very silly to sell it. Because of that decision though, we could get more projects greenlit as Warner Bros. Looks to make some money, and that could mean Injustice 3. I personally would be excited if we got Injustice 3. I enjoyed playing 1 and 2 and DC vs. Mortal Kombat, and given all the problems they had with that and all the no blood, I enjoyed all those games. So given this new possibly Doomsday Clock, Watchmen, if that's what they go with, involvement, I would be excited to see that. Let me know in the comments below what you think about this news. Are you excited about Injustice 3 possibly happening? Are you excited that possibly we could have Watchmen being infused in an upcoming Injustice video game? Let me know below. And that's it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button. If you want to see more videos just like this one, hit that subscribe notification bell. Make sure you follow me on Twitter at Justin_McGill and follow us on Instagram at the Mashup. That's at THEMSHUP. And I'll see you guys next time on the Mashup.